And just like that, we are back after a minor delay. I can confirm for who knows how manyth time that sore throats and coughing is not fun. Anyways, we're back. The Sweet 16 is set and games are scheduled to resume on Thursday evening. Now let's take a look at Cinderella's Corner, where dreams come true. For a look back at a couple of the upsets from the round of 32. Ole Miss sent the 3-seed Iowa State packing and punched their ticket to the Sweet 16. Shout out to everyone who had Ole Miss in the Sweet 16. G-Mom number 1, Jax, Morgan, Cameron, Sydney, and Blake. Way to pick the upsets and roll with the 6-seed Ole Miss. That was the only upset from Sunday. However, Colorado State nearly knocked off Maryland in an absolute thriller that went down to the wire. Sit back and enjoy the second game winner from March Madness 2025.
From the out of bounds to the freshman queen who's driving, floats it. Oh! Maryland on the right side of a buzzer beater with life into the Sweet 16.
Maybe the only guy in the world who has ever been happier than this guy was Jake after the vote passed allowing him to change his bracket. Sorry, Jake, that was the last one of those jokes. Scout's honor. And with that, let's take a look at the leaderboard. G-Mom number 1 shot up to first place after a stellar day on Sunday. She is followed very closely by Mariah and Seth, who are half a point behind, and then by Dad, who is 1 point out of first place. And while I'd love to say it's still anyone's game, in reality, it's not. Mariah, Jenny, Jax, Cameron, and Nellie, all of you have less than 90 possible points remaining, which is about 40 points behind the people with the most possible points remaining. While the 5 of you may seem to be out of it, one of you still has your champion alive, and that's my boy Jax, who picked Michigan to go all the way. And if that happens, we might be crowning a new champion this year, who picked his bracket solely off of what each team's mascot looks like. And trust me, that process is way more tedious than it seems. Go Blue. And now for some record-breaking performances. G-Mom number 1 and Seth both picked 13 of the Sweet 16 teams correctly. That was good enough to put both of them on the all-time leaderboard for the most correct Sweet 16 picks. And on the flip side of that coin, Nellie set the record for the most incorrect Sweet 16 picks with 14, meaning she only picked 2 of the Sweet 16s correctly. Nellie, keep your head up. There's more to come on Nellie's selection process, so stay tuned. Now let's check in on the infamous Battle of the Block that everyone has been waiting for. Mom and Dad, you guys are up first. Dad is currently sitting 6 points ahead of Mom and is the favorite to win this highly anticipated matchup. Dad, I'm rooting for you because I know you put in a lot of research picking your teams, complete with the use of whiteout, Google searches, and plenty of eraser savings to make your bracket. Mom, I'm also rooting for you because I know you put very little effort into any research and filled out your bracket in about 5 to 7 minutes, which would in turn be an epic upset of the reigning brackets champ. Oh, and Mom, remember that generals don't go down without a fight. Next up, myself versus Sydney. Sydney is currently winning our matchup by 5 points, not a big deal. But what she doesn't know is that I've been secretly communicating with the teams that I've picked, and we have a foolproof plan in place to catch up and take her down. So all I can say is that I love you and good luck. Next up is Seth versus Jenny. Seth has surged to the top of the leaderboard and is looking like a real contender this year, while Jenny's bracket is doing quite the opposite. Never say never, so Jenny, I'm not sure if you will ever come back from this one. Tough scenes taking UNC as the champ and having them get knocked out in the first round. You'll have that on these big jobs. Seth, keep on keeping on. I hope to see you at the top soon. Now to the battle of the collegiates, Jake versus Mariah. Mariah is currently leading the matchup by 16 points, but both of their champions are knocked out. They both have 68 possible points remaining, so it's ultimately going to come down to a classic who picked who scenario. Rooting for you both, but mostly Jake, since Mariah said she was only doing the brackets because UNC made it and not because it's fun to do. How lame. Next up is the battle down south in Charlotte. Tonda has slipped up a little bit and now finds herself 2.5 points back of the lead, but she still holds an 11-point lead on Gray. Last time we discussed this matchup, we talked about the Revolutionary War and all that jazz. Well, maybe that was foreshadowing, because Gray, it's going to take a revolution for you to catch Tonda. With that being said, good luck. I'm rooting for you because we have the coolest middle name in the group. Team Gray for life. Next up is the battle of the young, but maturing, Jedi. Micah is 10.5 points clear of Jax. Micah has 112 possible points remaining while Jax only has 76. By sheer numbers, this battle is Micah's to lose. Micah, just like the Battle of Yavin, this could go down in history as one of the greatest battles of all time, and a turning point in this rivalry if you let this one slip out of your hands. Micah, you just need Michigan to not win, and you're in the clear. May the force be with you both. Next up, Grant versus David. David currently leads Grant by 6 points. And since the two of you may or may not know each other, I'm still not sure if you've ever even met, let's get to know each other a little bit better. David is a Panthers fan, a fan of all things gambling, and has never backed down from a trivia battle. Grant is a man of many talents, including his barber skills, as well as his ability to extinguish a flame and do heroic things in hectic situations, also known as a firefighter. It's also noted here that he likes to take nice long walks on the beach. Take that as you may. Now that you two have gotten to know each other a bit, may the best man win. No holds barred. Now to the main event, GMOM 1 versus GMOM 2. In a shocking turn of events, GMOM has climbed to the top of the leaderboards, while simultaneously being near the bottom of the leaderboard. GMOM number 1 has an 11.5 point lead on her arch nemesis, GMOM number 2. As always, we are thrilled to watch this battle play out and can't wait to see which GMOM will end up on top. Will Granny Brackets add to her brackets legacy? Only time will tell. Rooting for you, GMOM number 1, but also for you, GMOM number 2. Now to Blake vs. Morgan, which we have noted is really 2 of Blake's brackets. However, 1 is listed as Morgan as a cover for Blake's love of sports, especially college basketball. Morgan leads Blake by 1.5 points, so it's really anyone's game. With both of them having 128 possible points remaining, it's going to come down to who wins it all. Good luck to you both, but mostly you, Blake, because why not? Lastly, Cameron versus Nelly, the matchup that might go down in history for the most underwhelming matchup of all time. Nelly picked every team that Blake said second, for the most part, which is why she picked so many underdogs. And Cameron picked whichever mascot she thought was prettier. I think we can learn a couple lessons from this. Don't let Blake read the matchups out to you and respond with the second team each time. And 2, Purple Panthers are cool until you have them in the championship game. Not ideal. Good luck to you both, and may the best bracket prevail. That's all for this update. The Sweet 16 kicks off Thursday evening. Good luck to all. Another update coming soon. Let's go.